Hey friends and family at Grace Lutheran PSL. Here's another, I guess this will be kind of like a bi-weekly little update. And this is kind of a big update. This last Thursday night at midnight, I guess Friday morning, our Governor DeSantis enacted a safer at home order for us here, and also Mayor Orvik here in Port St. Lucie also backed that order up. And so that changes some things. So be safer at home, especially if you're high risk. It doesn't change a whole lot of things going day to day, but it's another pronouncement of be safe at home, and it looks like it's going to go for about 4 weeks now. What that means at the church is that there's a couple things are going to change. We've been getting ready for an order like this, actually. We've been recording ahead on some of the worship services so we don't have to get as many people packed in there and all that. But what it actually means for you is a couple things. The first one is our individual communion that we are doing together. That is, we're going to have to put that on hold for just a little bit. We'll reevaluate the situation in a couple of weeks, and we'll let you know when that happens. But we will stop for right now individual communions on Sundays and Wednesdays right now. We will begin a Bible study format you can do through your phone or through your computer. You can use a webcam. You can even call in. We're going to start that up after Holy Week. Get past Holy Week, and we'll start doing that. And for you extroverts out there, that may end up actually being a benefit to you too. But there's some other things that we want to talk about as well. I know that's very sad about the communion, but it's just what we have to do right now. Other things we want to make you aware of is there's a lot of scams going on right now, and we try to be pretty vigilant for you. But if you have any questions about anything, and if you're worried about it being a scam, just let us know. Give us a call at the office, and we'll give you a call back, or email me or the office. We'll get back to you if you think it's a scam. The stimulus checks, they are going to be just sent to you. You don't have to fill anything out for that. And there's a few other things like that. I have a list here. I want to make sure. The food pantries right now, there's a lot of people that are out of work and out of money. The food pantries are getting hit really hard right now. And also there's a couple of scams connected to food pantries. Because this is a big situation, I think it's important to support the big dogs in the fight, right? The Treasure Coast Food Bank is an amazing organization that serves the Treasure Coast and those that are hungry in it. So if you're interested in sending anything to the Treasure Coast Food Bank, please send it to them. I think they're the best ones going right now. If you don't know how to send anything to the Treasure Coast Food Bank, you can send it to the church. Just mark on it in some way that it's for the Treasure Coast Food Bank or the food bank, and we will get that to them. Also, some of you may really need that stimulus check. Some of you may not. Some of you may need way more than the stimulus check. So if you don't need it, think about sending it over to the church. We have some families that we think are probably going to need it during these times. And if we pull everything together, we all can stand stronger together. So if you're interested in that, just send that our way. You don't have to. There's not a pressing need right now. But anything that we get in from the stimulus checks, and please mark that on there too, it will go to serve our members and neighbors in need. And then what else? And I meant to talk about DeSantis's order for churches being essential. We don't really know what that means. We're still trying to figure it out. On Thursday night, Mayor Orvik provided us some guidance as to how he is interpreting it and how he thinks the churches should respond. And I think we are going to follow what Orvik is saying. I think there's a lot of wisdom in what he's saying. And so we are stopping a lot of things that are going on in the church because we really, as a community, need to try to squelch the virus and what it's doing in our communities around us. So the communion is going to stop and things such as that. So right now, it's really essential that we act like the body of Christ. We love our neighbors just like we love ourselves. So continue to call each other. Remember, don't go to other people's homes. As hard as that is, remember to stay clean, to wash your hands often. We're trying to flatten that curve, and we're doing a good job of it. We need to keep it up right now. But that's what we can do to make sure that we are continuing a good path going forward. So it's great being with you. We are stopping worship and all these things in-house because we are following the guidance of our leaders, and that's what we do as good citizens and as good Christians in this world. So continue to call, talk to people, wash your hands often, say hello to people, and support in any way that you can. We love you guys lots, and if you need anything at all, if you need us to go grocery shopping for you or anything, just call us at the church. We're here to help you. And if you know of anyone that doesn't have internet or anything like that, and they could really use a DVD to watch the services on, just let us know that too. We'd love to serve in any way. So may God grant you his peace and joy in this trying time that we are in. And I invite you to join us on our mission at Grace, that we provide grace and peace in this chaotic and lonely time. You guys have a great day. And now check out Mayor Orvik's city council meeting where he's talking about church relations with our latest stay-at-home order. Have a great night.
So, council, I don't know how you felt when you heard the governor had expressed his intent to issue an executive order, and then how you felt when you read it. I was very happy and enthused to hear that he had taken this additional step and was going to utilize this tool in our fight against COVID-19 when I heard about it. And then when I read it, I just had some creeping concerns, and I want to share with you my largest concern. And I want to urge, I'm going to call on the citizens of Port St. Lucie and our faith leaders. So one of the things that just had me, when you're fighting a fight, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. There's a lot of emotion in it. And why I was down yesterday is because the governor's order includes Section 3 entitled Essential Activities. And it states, for purposes of this order and the conduct it limits, essential activities means and encompasses the following: attending religious services conducted in churches, synagogues, and houses of worship. And why this one worries me is not because people want to engage in worship. Of course they do, and I want them to. We need God now more than ever. So I do want everyone to worship. But I want, and I'm urging everyone to be safe. And to be safe, you have to be socially distanced. You have to follow the CDC guidelines. And this virus, our silent enemy, it doesn't care why you're in a room with 250 people. It doesn't care if you are in a room like this for the higher purpose of worshiping God, or if you're in a room like this for a council meeting or for the social purpose of an R-rated movie. The virus doesn't care, and we already know from experience that New Rochelle, that outbreak was around a synagogue. We know that an outbreak was in Washington around a choral group that met at a Presbyterian church. We know the virus doesn't care why we are gathered together. It only takes advantage of the opportunity to replicate and spread. So even though the governor said we could worship, and on Easter we can get together and go to our nearest super church, and there's no limit on the numbers, and we could pack 2,000 people in a room, please, Port St. Lucie, and please, the shepherds of their flocks, please continue to innovate like you have to do the telesermons, the Christ Fellowship. Shout out to Christ Fellowship. They have been such an amazing partner in all times in Port St. Lucie, good and bad, and especially in bad, they're there, and they're leading by example. Vice Mayor, I know you're part of that congregation of doing it by broadcast. Other churches are doing that. And another innovative approach that our churches are implementing is the good old-fashioned drive-in movie. So we're going to get together so that we can praise God as a group, but we're going to do it from the safety of our car, just like we were going to get our COVID-19 test. So here's a way for us to be a self-contained family unit, but still come together in a group to lend our voices to prayer with a pastor up front. You're a pastor, there you are. We're here in our cars. We're turning on the radio station and we're having service together. That's a way to do it safely. You know, just because we can do something, it doesn't mean we should do something. And I hope that we will use our better judgment when it comes to packing a synagogue, a church, a temple. Let's stay socially distanced and safe, because I don't want to see Easter or any other Sunday or holy day be the day that 400, 500 people got sick in Port St. Lucie. So that was my biggest thing, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. So I don't know how you felt about it or the other issues you want to go through, but that was the big one for me.
That was the big one, absolutely.